Imagine driving a really, really fast car and feeling really cool while doing it. That was F1. And without further ado, let's get into my review. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Evan, and I am going to give you an actor's perspective on the movie F1 that recently came out. I just saw it today, starring Brad Pitt and some other people. There's other people than just Brad Pitt in the movie, I promise. First off, I'm going to talk about the things that I liked about this movie, and then I'm going to move into the things that I didn't necessarily like about this movie. But let's start off with the positives. First off, I really liked how this was, it sort of felt like an ensemble piece. It felt like there weren't any, like, you weren't just following one character. Like, from the very beginning of the movie, you meet the drivers, and then you meet the crew of the whole team, and my first thoughts were kind of just like, wow, there's a lot of characters in this movie, and like, how are they gonna like make everyone sort of relevant? But I really liked that because they kind of talk about in the movie how F1 is a team sport. Like, yes, there's only one or two drivers out there, but like, it is a team effort, and that kind of underlies the whole movie, and I really liked that about the film. Any time that you can, I'm a fan of ensembles. It felt like a team. It felt like even just the actors, like, all were there, like, supporting each other, and I really love ensembles, and I mean, that's a big part of like my theater background, so I really appreciated that about the movie. All of the races were Dude, all the races were super awesome. I'm not somebody who knows a lot about F1 or just racing in general, and I was able to follow this movie very, very well. It was very like clear what was going on, like how the races work and all that stuff. And they do a good job storytelling that. But man, the races, like, when they were in the cars, like, I felt like I was in the cars with them, and I really was like very nervous, and like I was very like, just like, I feel like I wasn't breathing for some of the races, especially like the final laps and stuff like that. But I think that was obviously intentional, and the writer and director is the same pair that did Top Gun Maverick, which had a lot of also similar sort of shots from like the cockpit, and you really like, it's really cool how they did it. You really feel like what the actors are going through as well in the cars, like, because you're just like so up close, and it's so like in this confined space. But man, it was super engaging, super fun. I don't like driving. I don't know how fast do these cars go, because that would I would be nervous. Okay, I don't even like speeding on the highway. I also loved the underdog journey. I mean, who doesn't love an underdog story? It also felt like both of the protagonists were, like, you were rooting for both of them, because they were both coming from different walks of life. Like, one was just getting into F1 and is a rookie, and the other one is sort of like this, washed up veteran who never got his like really good chance because he got injured and stuff like that. So like, you were rooting for both of them, and then they were sort of, kind of in the beginning pit up against each other, and they needed to like learn how to work together. Like, I really like the whole arc of their characters was very believable to me. Like, just sort of battling ego, and also just having to be there for each other. Like, if you wanted to win, you had to be there for each other, and they sort of learned how to work together. And yeah, it was really beautiful. And like, I liked that it wasn't easy. Like, they didn't just like all of a sudden win. Like, they were it was an uphill battle, and you felt that, because like, I hate when movies sometimes it's like, oh yeah, like they finally like clicked, and then like everything's good. Like, this definitely was not that. Like, it was real. It was like, it felt very like raw and natural, and yeah, it was an engaging story. I feel like all the character, like both the main characters' arcs, like, you were very believable. Yeah, I like that. I will say, because of how many characters there were, and like, there's a love story, of course, like, the movie was long. I didn't feel like the movie was dragging, but I feel like there were just certain scenes that I didn't necessarily need, to be honest. Like, just a couple of like the I don't know. I didn't necessarily care for the romance that much, and maybe that's just because I'm a hater, but I just was like, all right, let's get back on the track. I want to see some more races. But and maybe I don't know. It was a nice balance of like acting and like scenes and then like the action of like the races. But I just felt like the movie could have been a little bit shorter. Not that it felt like it dragged, but it was like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I was like, damn. Like it was more when I got out of the theater, I was like, damn, that movie was long. But I guess that's a good sign. Like I didn't feel like it was dragging. I was very engaged the whole time for sure. But I just feel like there were some scenes that I didn't necessarily need. There were some like decisions that the characters made that didn't feel real. It felt like, okay, this is like a point to move the plot forward as opposed to like something the character would actually do. Basically, something happens to, without giving any spoilers, something happens to Damson Idris's character, and he does something that just feels sort of like out of line with like what his character would do. And it felt like it was just like sort of a device to move the plot forward as opposed to like something that was based in real circumstances. And there were a couple moments like that, even with Brad Pitt's character too, that I'm like, would he really do that right now? Like, I don't know, it just didn't feel earned. There were some moments that didn't feel earned. But honestly, other than that, like, this movie was very enjoyable. It is like, I sort of like, I had a feeling what this movie was when I walked in, and it gave me exactly what I wanted and more. Like, the races were fucking awesome. The races were awesome. If you enjoyed Top Gun Maverick, like, you most likely will enjoy this film. And I will say the difference between Top Gun Maverick and this movie is that this movie was just better. This movie, no, like this movie, like I don't know. I feel like this movie, like the acting was a lot better. Like Top Gun Maverick, like all the plane stuff was really, 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 really dope. But like the acting was just like, in my opinion, like not good. In this movie, the acting is really good, and I feel like there's just strong performances from everyone all around. People in the crew, all the leads, like there was no weak link. The mom was really good. Like there was no weak link. Everyone was bringing it, man. Which I love. I love to see it. If I had to play somebody in this movie, it would be Joshua Pierce, who is played by Damson Idris, who does a phenomenal job. The reason I would like to play that character in this movie out of everyone else is, one, I feel like I fit that role the best. Two, like his arc, that character's arc is really, really awesome. There's a lot to be explored with his character. He starts off kind of a brat, kind of snobby, like very egotistical, very like just kind of a jerk. And he has to learn how to work together. He has to learn how to work with someone. He has to learn how to put his ego aside. And his character has a very clear journey, and kind of the battles that come with changing and growing as a person and learning how to work as a team. Yeah, that's definitely the character that I would play if I had to choose. If I had to cast myself in this movie, that's who I would play. But yeah, man, strong. Not a lot of dislikes about this movie. That is all I have for this review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like movie reviews from an actor's perspective, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.